Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. It's getting cloudier and windier here, but I refuse to let go of the shirtless mode because, remember, even when there are clouds, the sun is still shining, and that might just be foreshadowing for another video I have coming up. But today, we're talking about Stoic fasting, because I get a lot of questions like, how do I get the fasting easier? When will it get easier? How do I stay disciplined to keep doing the fasting? How do I stay motivated to keep fasting until I reach my goals? And this will very much be related to the video I put out yesterday, and a lot of my videos will be related to this subject of loving the process. It's a mindset I want to transfer to you. I want you to really understand. And I will tell you in the end what you need to do in order to make the fasting easier and easier for you to stay on track and be disciplined and on point with all that. So the thing is, our emotions and feelings, our human experience, ideally, it tells us exactly what we need to know about everything. A person who's just, let's say, the theoretical perfect person who's been no trauma, no corruption of the environment, brought up under exact right circumstances, they will be able to trust their emotions and feelings a lot. If they are hungry, they need to eat. If they're afraid, they probably need to run away, etc. But what happens to us humans is we get corrupted and we can't fully trust everything that we experience and feel and think because of childhood trauma, other trauma, the environment we were brought up in, etc. We've been rewired then so that different triggers and emotions and feelings gets triggered to come up when they really shouldn't. So the example would be here, we're talking about the fasting. You might ask yourself, isn't fasting always a Stoic practice, just choosing to be away from food when it's available, imposing this adversity on yourself in order to become stronger and healthier? But I'll tell you right now that it's not that much stoicism needed for me at this point with the fasting, because I have now rewired myself here. I can very much trust the signals I get from my body, and I don't really experience strong hunger during a fast. That if I do, it's probably a sign that this is not the time for me to fast, But it wasn't always like this, because I too, even if it was never my biggest vice and struggle with the diet, but I drank a bunch and I ate too much junk food, and I ate every day, and no specific routine with that. So when I got into all the fitness and fasting stuff, it was definitely something I struggled to some extent with. And the thing is, in the moment we take the fast, you feel very uncomfortable, and you want to break it, because it's now what happens often when we get these strong feelings, like the discomfort we experience during a fast. It's fear related, You might not, like me, am I dying? That's probably, you're not probably afraid only, but the discomfort from it, you have fear that, will it be like this? Will it keep being like this? This is going to be very tough if I'm going to have to be like this for additional several days, So you're afraid, and you're focusing on how can I make myself feel better right now? Well, it's to break the fast right now. And maybe you're not even thinking about what I'm losing my goal, because you got so triggered into this is too much. The right thing to do to overcome this, it's to break the fast, it's to eat. And it's true that this discomfort you're experiencing from not eating and wanting to eat, it's true that will go away if you break the fast. But what will not go away is your weight that you want to lose and the food addiction you have, right? This is when you gotta be stoic. You gotta know that this is part of the process, and you have to love this part of the process too. That right now, I feel like fucking shit. It's terrible. I'm super hungry, or I'm nauseous, or whatever it is. And it is that way because it's a false signal. It's the only thing my body knows right now. But the spirit that inhibits this body and mind, I can go one step beyond. I can see the truth here. I'm a fucking fatty. I don't really need to eat. I just feel bad because of my addiction. And this is again with the discipline. I told you before, and it wasn't me who came up with the expression, but discipline is choosing what you want most of all before what you want right now, right? And the thing is, gradually things like this get better. The addiction, and that you have a trouble or losing weight, or I want you to tell you, by the way, I'm choosing the fasting angle, but as always, this is applicable to kind of any process of self-development and changing yourself. It's not because you did one fast that it gets better, right? But it's a little better. You now have one more notch on your belt, and then the next one, it will be a little better. And eventually, by consistently overcoming that fear and discomfort in the moment, reminding yourself, no, that's what I do to get over how I feel right now, but I have a long-term thing. And part of reaching that is actually just feeling this fucking uncomfortable shit, and just not go with what it, makes me feel like doing. Not to go like that. That's the right thing to do. Fucking nothing. Not breaking a fast. That's the right thing to do. And eventually, because this is what it was for me. I failed a few fasts in the beginning. I had to, at some point, just overcome knowing that, what I wanted to say earlier, it's like, you became the food addict not because you ate McDonald's once or you binged on one day or something. It's that you became that way. It took some time. You built that up, right? And it's the same way now. You have to rebuild it with consistently going against that intuition, so you can teach your body, look, we're fine. When we thought we needed food, we thought we needed to break the fast to get by, but now I've showed myself so many times, I don't even myself, like the body will adapt and know, okay, at those times when I thought it was dangerous and we need to eat, I don't actually have to. That's just how it works. So that's the Stoic fasting. Fasting, yes, it can be described as a Stoic practice all over, but it's really when you get into it that you need to be Stoic. It's the same with everything, when you don't know anything about working out, you get hella sore. It's much tougher while you train than what it will be for a fit person. You're gonna feel like, fuck, just quit it. But then you have to remember, no, what I want most of all, experiencing this discomfort that this workout means, that's exactly what I need to do for that. I have to go against my feeling. And eventually you can reach a point where you're like me, it's not you're never thinking about, oh, do I have to train? It's like just part of what you do. And you know exactly why you do it. And that's another thing too, knowing why you do it, everyone knows vaguely that aren't into it yet, that I probably would feel better if I trained and I had a better diet, lost some weight. But you don't truly know until you experience it. Experience trumps all, That's the thing. And that's what I noticed with clients I work with. When the true motivation and discipline actually appears, it's when they experience a change, that's like undeniable, that it's connected to what they're doing. Like an example I know I've brought up here before is this older woman I trained when I worked in the gym who had knee issues. She couldn't walk longer than half an hour without pain, and she was complaining all the time. We were training in the start, but really more weight, all the time like this. And then after 1 week, and she comes and was like, I was out, foraging for mushrooms with my friends for hours, and they were all like in shock that, wow, we've not been able to go for this long without you having to take breaks all the time in like years, And then it was so evident to her, it's because of what I've been doing in the gym. And from this point, she was, I'm not saying more motivated than me, but she's all of a sudden, well, can we try more weight? Like, I think I have more. Like, yeah, can we get in something for this too, So that's when it happens. So the Stoic part of all of this, change and self-development, it's the initial part, truly, when you just have to go against that. Then, of course, it will come up times in life when you're struggling in other ways, so it spills over into this other area, when you might have to practice some stoicism again. But for instance, the fasts I did on my cut this year, none of them demanded that much stoicism from me, because it's just like, okay, business as usual, So, yeah, what I want to say, it's very very much this that I talked about earlier, the fear. It's all the fear and discomfort. Again, don't overthink it. Like, oh, I don't think I necessarily feel afraid when I'm fasting. Like, if you're feeling discomfort, you are afraid. To some extent, will this last? Oh, I don't know, when will I get over this? La 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 la. And stuff like that pushes you towards making the wrong decision. The decision that's right to feel safe and good, comfortable in the moment, but it's not the right thing for you to feel good and thrive long term. It's a great quote from my buddy Sim Vandale. That will be coming over soon. If the fucking flights, there's a strike coming up maybe. But anyway, quote from him, that fear is a great motivator to survive, like immediately survive, It's a terrible motivator to thrive. That's the whole thing with this. That we often get in our way of ourselves because we're afraid and we need to do something now, right now. And look, the times when that's really necessary, it is those acute situations, like, you know, the lion or the savannah example. That's when it's actually good to be afraid and fucking run for it, you know. But so many times these things get triggered in us when it's just not the right thing to do, and that's when we have to pick what we want most of all over what we want right now. And I'll say this is something going on in like both the positive and not negative. I mean, it's going on in a way that I enjoy the experience, you know, with the training, for instance. I just very much love, the training is where I have it nailed down completely right now. I just love the process. I don't mind if I come and thought I was going to do heavy squats, but it just doesn't work with my hip injury that day. I get in whatever else is good, you know. Instead of being like, no, but I want to get my fucking strong legs and just mash through heavy squats even though I'm not ready for it and just rip up the injury even worse again, you know. But so this is where I have it completely on point. But there are other areas in my life right now that can't go into too much detail about everything, you know, and the video is 11 minutes now. But basically, you know, where I get that feeling like, I'm losing it, you know, this thing I want, it's slipping away, I need to fucking do something. And I have to remember that what I feel like, you know, I try to trick myself that, yeah, by these actions I feel like doing, they would help me get this thing that I want. But the only thing I'm really trying to do there, because I'm afraid, you know, is making myself feel comfortable in the moment, and actually I'm just getting in the way of the end result, just like you would if you already had your workout and like, I need to go hit another one. No, sit back now it's time to heal, and then at some point there will actually be some active action for you to take. But many a times it's just to sit back, and that's the reminder, enjoying the process. For you, for me, with these other things I mentioned in my life, and for you that might be a fatty struggling with a food addiction and trying to fast, you have to love the process in the moment. You have to know that feeling like shit, I'm doing the right thing by feeling this way and not acting on the things I feel like doing. I'm choosing what I want most of all before what I want right now. And always that reminder. You always trick yourself into, no, this is the right thing to do now. But it's only the right thing if your main goal is feeling comfortable right now. It's not the right thing to do to thrive and reach your goals. So do you want to thrive or just survive? That's the choice is yours. So guys, we end the video here. Please leave a comment. What did you think? And please like. All comments and likes help support the channel, so it's very much appreciated. And you can just comment, algorithm comment. Anyway, please guys, please do that more. It will help. The channel is growing a bit faster. Help me even more. Please, down on my knees. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, philosophy, stoicism, mental health, all that kind of cool shit. Okay guys, I'll see you later.